Spy Family is the biggest anime of the spring 2022 season, and that's saying something, because it's up against some serious competition. Well, maybe not so much. Shield Hero hasn't been anything to write home about, Kaguya hasn't gotten to the good part yet, Komi was delayed by Netflix, and although Shikamori is adorable, it doesn't have the same impact as Spy Family. For those who haven't seen it, a brief synopsis. There is a tentative peace between the countries of Westeros and Ostania. The greatest spy in Westeros is known only by his alias, Twilight. A master of disguise, combat, and, in the words of Anya, a very cool liar. He is sent on a mission, codenamed Operation Strix. He must get close to Donovan Desmond, the chairman of the National Unity Party. Desmond is believed to be a warmonger and secretly trying to reignite the war between Westeros and Ostania. However, he's a recluse and only leaves his estate to attend family functions at his child's prestigious school. And so, Twilight, adopting the persona Lloyd Forger, must get himself a wife and child and enroll that child into Eden Academy. The child he winds up adopting just happens to be a psychic who can read minds, and the woman he ends up marrying is secretly an assassin. Shenanigans ensue. Okay, so the show is basically a spy thriller, but spy movies, with few exceptions, aren't popular right now. The genre is old and outdated, so why is Spy Family so incredibly popular? Of course, you could just say, duh, Danon, because it's good. Okay, what's good about it? The writing is good, the action's good, the art is good, the characters are good, but it takes more than merely good pieces of a story for a show to rise to the top of the rankings like this, especially in an outdated genre like spy thrillers. So what is so appealing about the series? I believe a big part of the answer is because Spy Family isn't just a spy thriller. It's a blend of genres that appeal to everyone. An alloy whose sum is greater than that of its parts. The author has drawn from so much varied material, from 40s pulp science fiction to 90s rom-coms. And because he's drawn from so many influences, people of all ages can enjoy Spy Family. A bit of a spoiler here for anime-only watchers, so I'll leave out the 40s pulp sci-fi references. You should figure it out by the end of this core of the anime, though. Manga readers will know exactly who I'm talking about. Spy Family also draws influence from action movies, which were hugely popular in the 80s, but have since evolved beyond male power fantasies into shows that everyone can enjoy. You could draw a lot of similarities between Yor and Leon, but I think we can look at more recent examples for Yor's inspiration. Yor is superhuman. I won't go into spoilers about some of the things she's done, but she belongs less in an 80s action movie and more in the MCU. As far as strength and skill, she's about on par with Steve Rogers or Bucky Barnes. And we can't mention superhero movies without mentioning the main character, Anya. As anyone who has seen the show, she is the glue that holds the fake Forger family together. Without her, Yor would never have spoken to Lloyd. Both Yor and Lloyd do their best to create a healthy home environment for Anya, not just protecting her and pretending to be her loving parents. They actually care for her and want her to be safe and happy. Without Anya, the Forger house would just be a place where Lloyd and Yor sleep, not a home. Now, a good portion of the influence for this series was taken from spy films. The problem is, whenever someone mentions a spy movie, they always think of either James Bond or Mission Impossible. Both are fun franchises and have some entries in their respective series that are better than others, but they are not the end-all be-all of spy thrillers. One of my favorite movies of all time is Where Eagles Dare, and I see a lot of similarities between Twilight and Richard Burton's character John Smith from that movie. Both are stoic, smooth-talking spies who are at ease even in high-stress situations. The difference, of course, is that while Twilight is used to seduction, murder, intrigue, and stealth, he is completely out of his depth when it comes to being a father. Of course, Tatsuya Endo, the author for Spy Family, has a wealth of other spy movies to draw on. Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, the Jason Bourne series, Kingsman, Sneakers, Atomic Blonde, and The Hunt for Red October, to name a few. But you also have parodies like Austin Powers, Burn After Reading, or The Man Who Knew Too Little to draw inspiration from. Because, in addition to being a spy thriller, Spy Family is a comedy, and also an action show. But at its core, it's a show about hiding our true selves, even from our own family. Which brings us to the elephant in the room. Mr. and Mrs. Smith is the most obvious show that Spy Family has drawn influence from. The movie is about two assassins who have been married for 5 or 6 years, but have been keeping it a secret for obvious reasons. Each discovers the other's secret identity and they are told to kill one another by their respective bosses. But when push comes to shove, each is unable to kill the other. Because, at the end of the day, they really do love each other. The obvious difference between Mr. and Mrs. Smith and Spy Family is that there are no kids in the movie. John and Jane Smith are childless. But that's not the biggest difference. Mr. and Mrs. Smith is an action movie with romance elements, while Spy Family is a slice of life with action elements. I know that the first few episodes of the anime make you think this is going to be an action-packed series, but think about it. There was more time spent on family moments and relationship building than there was on action in the first few episodes. Because Spy Family is a multi-genre story that has blended elements of science fiction, spy thrillers, superhero tales, and rom-coms, that makes it a show which appeals to a wide variety of people. Well-blended genre stories are timeless. Take a look at one of the most beloved films of all time, Princess Bride. It's a fairy tale with the premise of rescuing the damsel in distress, but it's also a hilarious comedy with memorable lines that people still quote today, 35 years later.
Hello. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
You've got
fencing, fighting, torture, revenge, giants, monsters, chases, escapes, true love, miracles.
And, much like Princess Bride, there are numerous pieces in Spy Family that make it such a great anime. Psychics, assassins, spies, action, heartwarming family moments, comedy, terrorists, criminals, suspense, and the horror of entrance exams. Spy Family, like all great shows, is more than the sum of its parts. All the pieces, and the influences that came before it, come together to form a unique work that is beloved by all. So if you haven't watched it yet, what are you waiting for? Give it a watch, I promise you won't regret it. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cute Stuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, there's a link to her Fiverr page below. I'm doing a push and trying to post new videos every weekday for the next few months, so look forward to lots of new videos in the future. Or you can click here for more anime content. I've also started a Patreon. You can click the link below or go to patreon.com/Danon. Stay safe, and I'll see you all again next time on Musings by Danon.